Hey, welcome into SQLive HoopsChat. I'm Justin Perri, joined by my co-host today, Mr. Maximilian Hofmeyer, our WNBA college basketball contributor over here at ShotQualityBets. And you're locked in for 45 minutes of something a little different. If you're used to following us here on this channel, you're probably waiting for us to lock in a live bet or tell you what's going on with the Aces and Liberty. And we might do that tonight. You're in a bit of luck because there is a great game going on as we discuss the WNBA. But tonight is Hoops Chat. It's our new show where we don't necessarily bet. We talk. We chat. We're going to have a great guest on today. In just a minute, our good friend Dano is going to be joining us here on the show tonight. But if you're new, if you're not, Hoops Chat is our brand new venture where we're going to be here every single Tuesday night, Max. This time. So set your calendars. No more confusion. Tuesday night is Hoops Chat. So come just chat about hoops. I got questions, drop them in the chat. You want to see a specific guest, we're going to have some fun names. Already started booking out the calendar a little far in advance, Max. But how you doing? Welcome to the new show. A little different, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Excited for round two. I saw last week went well with Winnick and Musa. So excited for today's episode. And yeah, a little WNBA talks. Big game going on ESPN. I was tuned into that earlier, and I'm sure Dano's tuned into that one as well.
Yeah, I see him tweeting. I think he'll be on in a few minutes here with us. We'll get him on in just a second. But I did want to, of course, just as you mentioned there, it is a little bit different, but we're going to have a lot of fun with it. My train of thought just absolutely left the station. I forgot what I was going to say, but that's all right. That's because Dano jumped in the room, and I see him over there giving me a smile, ready to go. We got some great stuff for you, obviously, coming up for the next 45 minutes. So let's waste no time at all. Mr. Dano Mataya, welcome to the show. I haven't seen you I think it's been about 13 months since you and I were hanging out shooting Giannis Antetokounmpo balls at a three-point contest. But how you been? Welcome into Hoops Chat and tell people a little bit about you if they don't know you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you, man. Also, it's Mataya, not Mataya. Oh. It's okay. You're not Latin. I know that.
I'm really not.
Yeah, it's all good. But anyways, Dano Mataya, day job. I work in tech I work in sales, I guess, for a tech company. But betting, been doing it purely on women's sports because that's what I think I have the biggest edge on. I love niche markets. So at her Hoop Stats, we have a tiered subscription model called Spread the Floor where we pump out hundreds and hundreds of women's college bets. I mean, you're the men's college basketball guys. I like to think we're the women's college basketball guys, myself and Calvin Wetzel over there. And then, I do a lot with Action Network, specifically with the WNBA, and I do a little tennis. But, diehard Liberty fan, sweating out some live bets. And I'm based now in Dallas, Texas.
Nice. Well, welcome to the show. My apologies again. I'm going to bungle a lot of names on this. It's
all good.
But thank you for spending your time with us tonight. We're going to talk a bunch of different topics. I'm really excited to hear. I have a really fun question for you that you don't know is coming. It's not crazy, but it's going to be fun because you make a lot of great content. You provide a lot of great commentary in a space that is absolutely growing right now. Women's sports, women's basketball. The attention is flooding into the space, and you've been here longer than anyone. I mean, last year was our second maybe year foraging into the world of WNBA analytics at Shot Quality. And you and I have sort of been in touch throughout that process. And you're always super interested in the data. And honestly, you mentioned Calvin. He and I kind of go back. When I was on Sportsline, he was over there still doing the CBS stuff. So Calvin, if you at home don't know about him, is another great mind in the WNBA analysis game that definitely deserves the +1. But I definitely want to just start from the basics of sort of where I just said the growth in the WNBA, guys, has been so much fun to watch. I think seeing any sport become something from nothing, whether it's, college basketball 10 years ago to now in March Madness, which isn't the same intensity of jump, but is still something. But the women's game was, the butt of jokes for the most part in the last 20 years. And now, you're seeing millions of votes casted for All-Stars. real fandoms developing, and some of the vitriol from NBA Twitter trickling down in terrible ways, of course. But the sport's growing. The bottom line is, even with all the crap that comes with it, the sport's growing. And so, Dan, I'll come to you first. You're our honored guest. What's that been like for you as someone who has really been here out the mud when no one was talking about it, when no one was analyzing it, to now? Like, what's the saturation change felt like?
For me, it's been nuts because, I mean, I've been pretty vocal about my fandom and, you know, how I invest a lot of my spare time. And I used to get a lot of like, oh, that's lame. Why are you watching that? You know, in there an NBA game on, like from close friends. And then now it's like, hey, Caitlin Clark's on national TV. And I'm like, I know. I may even be on the sideline, you know?
There you go.
So it's been awesome. I mean, because I feel like the college games they took a huge leap. I mean, obviously there's UConn dominance, but kind of the Eureka shots with the first, like, I think little tremor of some growth. But what Caitlin did, and then the LSU national championship game just like took it to a whole nother level. The amount of interest in embedding, the available markets embedding has been just awesome to see because, you know, I mean, I feel like there were a few years we just didn't have player props at all.
Oh, now we have live. I mean, Max, you know, we used to struggle to find anything.
And not just live player prop, like two-sided, like not just the 15 plus points, like you can actually take unders too. But yeah, I mean, I've only dipped my toe in this space, the women's betting, for like a little over 2 years now, and just the availability, like even I've noticed, is crazy. So I'm sure someone like yourself who's been in it even longer, I'm sure you appreciate that more widespread availability, you know, maybe overnight lines and such.
Yeah, I try not to I now doing content, you don't want to hit the overnight lines because then, I mean, it's like nobody can get them. But like, you know, I know there's people.
Well, even the fact that there are some. I mean, there probably were. You know,
I mean,
like
overnight props is insane for the W.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you know, college props is a whole nother conversation. But you know, even getting those for the tournament was very cool to see. And I mean, like, granted, you'll still see the countless names spelled wrong, or you know, teams on, you know, with different logos, whatever, but at least the books are trying. Granted, like, having bet this for a while, gotta find a lot of creative ways to get down if you're betting a niche market, for sure. Is what it is.
What's your style like in terms of an analyst in the WNBA? You talk about how you have a little bit of the dual life, you do a little financial stuff. How do you really bring in the approach? You're here on this show, likely means you use some stats. Your brand's Her Hoop Stats. You can't take your eye off the game right now, which is more than fine. We're going to talk about the game when they go to the break at the third quarter. I wouldn't want it any other way, honestly. If you could sit here and watch me, I'd be a little worried. This is a great game, and it's tied right now. We'll talk about it at the break. But what's your analysis style like? And you don't have to spill too much of the tea. You don't have to tell us the secret sauce too much. But you know, what have you seen worked? What's an edge you've lost in the last 3 years? I don't know. I mean, I think for most people, the WNBA is something they haven't even really started analyzing yet, or are just getting into it, or at best 2 years into it. So talking to you for someone like myself, who is trying to continue to improve my analysis of this league as it becomes more popular, is such an opportunity. So I want to know how you approach things, or what has or hasn't worked, or even what's died in front of your face.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, for me, I remember one of the biggest parts of the process was like waiting for injury updates, because like there was no formal injury report up until last year, I feel like.
Wow.
Like, I mean, granted, I'm on every email from, you know, the teams and whatnot. So I do have access to get it faster, but, you know, we'd see late scratches without any notice 2 years ago, and then you're kind of out of luck. Granted, I mean, like, look at the Mercury last night, down 2 starters, and, you know, pump the don't want to cuss, but
Yeah, it's an adult channel. We click the no for kids, so you can.
For better words, shit pumped the Wings last night by 30. So injuries can be one thing, but for me, I think with the WNBA, it's so easy to get so much information because there's still, as of right now, 13 teams. I know we're moving towards Toronto and Portland and I guess Philly, Detroit, soon. So
Exciting.
it's exciting, but it's definitely gonna get harder. So I mean, I definitely, for me, I look at schedules like way in advance. I feel like this league is definitely like such a spot league. But this isn't really too much of a concern with props, but I think props for me is huge with injuries, of course. But yeah, like for me, the Aces are going to die at some point. This is the last game of a 4-game road trip. I feel like everybody dies in that spot, especially in this league. They're happy to get home, and it's a short and condensed season than the NBA like we're used to. This is the longest season it'll ever be. It's 44 games, so that's just one example of the spot I love.
It was 40 last season,
correct?
And is this staying at 44?
Break last year as well, right? Did that have something to do with the fewer amount of games, the Olympics last year?
No, the 40 was the most it had ever been. So,
okay.
So it's
staying at 44 next year with the new teams.
I believe so. I haven't heard for sure, but that's the other thing with the new teams and just constant roster movement. I mean, it's super hard for these teams to make trades with how limited their CBA is. But yeah, I mean, things have blown up in my face. Taking Asia Wilson alts tonight.
Hey, I mean, I saw you hitting a 20-1 the other day. So,
yeah.
I know you got to take your risks. The Aces have been a story, and we can talk about them in a second. But
yeah,
please.
I know. It makes me not believe in shot quality, the things you
we're going to have to cut Dano's segment.
I'll play.
It's okay. It's okay. For those who don't know, and team standings and stats are totally publicly available on ShotQualityBets.com. At the Aces, up until I think 2 days ago, were the number one team in shot quality in the W. They have been usurped, Dano. I don't know if you've checked recently, but the Dream are now there, and the Aces don't look like they're far. They looked like they were like the best team by a couple points as recently as 2 weeks ago, but now they've kind of fallen back into the fold of much closer to everybody else. And I guess if they continue to catapult downwards, soon they will find their true spot. But
and I will say I am an Aces hater too. I am a huge Aces hater. So it's
you come for shot quality though, and it's just
I know. It's like I don't want to be told the truth.
Look, I mean, let's talk about it. What's gone wrong? And Max, I guess if you feel comfortable going before the expert over here, what do you think's gone wrong for Las Vegas? Because in shot quality, they are currently leading second fewest attempts allowed on defense for three, second most efficient 3-point shooting expected. But when you actually get to what's happening, it's not that.
Yeah, so I mean, I love the the SQ versus actual. Like, I was on the side of maybe their defense was just getting unlucky, but you can't just keep saying that over and over and over. Eventually, you just got to accept the fact that this defense, has had problems all season, and I just don't see it getting much better. I'm just not a big fan of this team. And sorry about your Asia props, but even if she didn't, I know she got hurt in this game, but even if she didn't get hurt, like, she just wasn't even getting touches. 14 minutes, 2 points. Like, I just don't really know. Like, I don't know if this team has an identity right now.
I agree 100%. And defense is, one thing, but like, to me, it's, a lot of people are giving, there's another women's professional basketball league that goes in the offseason now in America, a 3-on-3 league called Unrivaled. A lot of people were like, Chelsea Gray is back. Point guard is back. But it's a condensed court. It's 3-on-3. There's way more spacing. It's completely different. So, I think a lot of expectations were a little too sky high for that team. I mean, granted, they have the, best, if not second best player in the world on there. But did expect a little more out of Becky, but when there's a surprise with a team not meeting expectations, there's other teams like the expansion team being, I guess they're 9-10 now, the Golden State Valkyries. Yeah. Former assistant coach Natalie Nakase has been absolutely fantastic, who was on Becky's staff. Could play into why Becky's fallen off. Streets are saying I'm a hot take machine, by the way. This
is why I had to have you on the show. I mean, look, I'm a New York Knicks fan. You're never going to hear me like jumping to defend Becky Hammond. So respect her. Obviously, very, very talented person and has done awesome things for the sport. But I mean, I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder for my city with that one, Dano. But I mean, yeah, trying to pull things up, but still figuring it out. Episode 2, folks. So bear with us here, but pulled up some of the recent scores for the Aces. And Max, like you said, the defense is just every single time out, it feels like shot quality is expecting them to allow less points. The Mystics put up 94, expected to allow 80. Fever put up 81, expected them to allow 75. Sun, they beat the Sun, and Sun only scored 59, but they were expected to allow 69. So that's not good either. Like at some level, I don't know. There's concern with it. I think when I've watched games, and Dano, you can confirm or deny this, it seems like the Aces are allowing opponents to get what they want in the paint. Yeah. And it's just the defense outside of just basically Asia isn't there. And we can see it in the regression analysis part here from shot quality. The difference in expected points per possession to actual is 0.08. And that is close to, a bucket every extra 20 possessions or so. I mean, it's really going to hurt. It's really going to hurt. Finishing at the rim, opponents are finishing close to 60% of those shots. Shot quality says they should only really be allowing 53, but that's essentially, and for those who might not know, that is based off of how that player has historically done. So it's not going to go in there and say, well, this is historically piss poor defense, and so we're going to up it. It's going to know how open the shot is, but they are hitting shots at a better rate than expected everywhere. So there's not really much redeeming there. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you do about a team like this in the WNBA, Dano? If you want to start maybe looking forward, and we said we were going to talk some championships, we're going to talk some awards from the bottom up, I guess. And it's not like they have 9 wins, but how do you approach analyzing what the second half of the season might hold for Las Vegas?
I mean, for one, trading a first-round pick in what could be a stacked draft with Juju, Watkins, Sarah Strong, trading a first-round pick for Alyssa Smith was insane, but they don't have a literal GM. This is something you never see on the NBA side. You've seen like presidents and head coaches, but to have a GM and then, she be removed from her position to not hiring one for an entire season is crazy. But really, I just don't. It's a lot of just on-ball defense, like getting blown by, and that's something that I think takes pure effort from a basketball standpoint. So, I could see this team turning it on late, but not someone I trust. They got a big win in Phoenix the other week, and I was on the Phoenix side and a little mad, but it took a miracle run from rookie Aaliyah Nye, who I love that they drafted. She's I have the stats here. We try to be a little stats focused. Sure. Mercury shot 16% of mid-range jumpers in that game, 3 of 19 from the mid-range. They've only had one worse game the entire season from the mid-range. So I don't know if that makes you feel any better. No, it does. It does for sure. That was a run where I feel like dogs were covering and winning like crazy in this league, which, those trends just happen like crazy. We saw a crazy trend like 2 years ago where Washington Mystics second quarters went under for 21 games in a row. We saw a trend where Washington had covered and won outright in like up until All-Star break last year, I think 19 of 21 games. in the first half, and we're not covering full game spreads. Like, it's just wild stuff like that. It's hard to ignore. But yeah, anytime you can say something that makes me feel better about a loss, I love it, Justin.
Well, that's what we're here to do. I can make you feel worse about wins, though, too. So you got to be careful, right? You never really know.
I know when I get lucky.
Yeah, you never really know. We said we were going to try to talk about this game at the break, and I absolutely bulldozed through the break, and because I don't have the game on, and what are you going to do? It's a tight one. It's a tight one. I'm not going to ask for plays. Shot quality has Liberty up by 10. How do you feel, Dano, about if I told you that right now the game is 62-61, and I can give us the look, and shot quality says 70-61. Currently, with I think it's Breanna Stewart and Sabrina both a little cold. To me, that says they're going to let those stars go and win or lose this game. If that's the case, how do you feel?
Fantastic. Let's hope it goes that way. And I mean, I think, this is a Liberty team hasn't covered in 9 straight games. They're missing Jonquel Jones, who I think is, I think we've all found out she's the Finals MVP last year. Their most important piece to not only the defense, but the space she creates offensively. She, steps out, hits threes, gets putbacks, is great in the post. But Sabrina is you've seen Liberty play. She's their fourth quarter, let me take over type player. Just hit her assist prop. We like to see that. But
no victory lapping on HoopsChat. You got to come on.
I'm glad to hear you were on that. I saw Cloud went out. I'm like, what did she do? What did Sabrina do last year without Cloud? 6.2 assists in a high total game against the Aces. Sure, I'll take a stab at that.
Hell yeah,
love to see it.
And I put all my props on action. I don't want anyone to pay for my props because I don't put in the same amount of research that I do into spreads totals.
I gotta get those action notifications on then, damn, because I missed the 20-1 yesterday, Dan. I was mad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't think I've had something cash in the first half like that ever.
Crazy.
Yeah. Friggin'. At the same token, we have Sabrina and Marine on defense, and that can go either way. They're not the strongest, but they're better than what the reputation is. I want to know from looking at shot quality or even just watching, someone who's kind of fresh with the WNBA, what teams have you enjoyed either researching or watching this year?
I think it's a good question for Max because he's really been talk to me.
I mean, I whiffed so hard on this team preseason, but I've completely done a 180, and I love the Phoenix Mercury. I'm all about this team. Same. I want they play so hard, they force a ton of turnovers. It is a matchup nightmare. And so the part about the Aces, we're getting way too much respect in the futures market for the whole first month of the season. So it was kind of all mispriced. You could get the Mercury at what? They were I don't know, 5-1, something like that.
Up until I took them the other night when I got them at I think 30-1 when they made the trades, and then I took them when they beat the Liberty the other night in Phoenix. I was there and a little intoxicated, so I went a little heavier than I should have. But they were still at 10-1.
We've all been there.
I've seen enough from this team and the pieces that they have, and I don't think they've peaked yet at all. But this is also a GM that came from the Warriors, who brought in multiple players that had not been drafted, and now for me, a shoo-in for executive of the year. I think the talent they've been able to find. I'm a little worried about how DeWanna Bonner fits in. But yeah, like you said, offensively and defensively, they're just so fun. And Alyssa Thomas being able to fit in Nate Tibbetts' system is just I didn't see it coming at all. I wanted to take their over on the season win total and stuff, but I saw a lot of sharps were on the under, and I got scared. I didn't trust myself, but so I stayed away from it altogether. But man, they are just fun, and I'm so glad you said that. Gave me goosebumps. I think about them all the time. Not in
They
a
are.
not a sicko
Now,
way, but
are you worried about the Bonner signing messing
Yeah.
up chemistry?
yeah. I mean, I just don't know how it fits. But then, like at the same token, it's like Nate Tibbetts has proven he's really good. Like I didn't know anything about him coming in from Orlando. I mean, I basically been checked out on the NBA since Harden left the Rockets. Been slowly getting back into it.
Hey, you
now-
got KD and Sengun down there now. It's gonna be fun.
I know. It's like my wife is going to get 0 time with me this year, but still knew nothing about Nate Tibbetts, and I thought his system was fun last year. Just they had some injuries and didn't have enough pieces, but now they're just so fun.
Well, you see, I mean, the success there out of the timeout for shot quality, third best offensive out of the timeout, and second best defensive. This is a team that is doing things that might not really show up from the shot quality stats or the statistical stuff, because it's going to show up in the number of possessions they're allowing their opponents to get. It's going to show up in forcing turnovers, good defensive rebounding, quick tempo, and not allowing you to get to the rim, which I think honestly prompts a really interesting question, Dano. I mean, you said you've kind of been checked out of the NBA. Maybe Max can color some of the lines in for us on both sides. But how, like, the NBA is essentially an offensive league, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is. You don't see a lot of Tony Allens. They just don't happen very often anymore. You don't see guys create careers off of stopping buckets. You see people create careers off of getting buckets. How does the WNBA weigh in that standing? Like, are there the defense really matters, or is it just the ultimate bucket getters are going to win every year?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I mean,
that's why we're here.
I feel like, I mean, it's really the talent, because I mean, you look back, like the top 4 players are making the finals every year. The Sun are probably like the one anomaly, like their run, but they did have John Quell for a little bit. But Alyssa Thomas is not. I mean, she has 2 torn labrums. If you watch her shoot free throws, she does it with one hand. Like if she could shoot the ball, she would be like in a GOAT conversation.
Love it. I like that take.
Yeah, like just has no shoulders. Chose to never get them repaired. It's a wild thing, but the Sun are the only team that come to mind that are like purely defensive identity. I mean, granted, when the Aces did win it in 2023, they were first in offensive defensive rating. But the teams at the finals every year are normally, 1 and 2, like we see with the Lynx. And like, I look at Fee, Nafisa Collier, who now honestly I think is the best player in the world. Offense and defense.
That's a very fair claim.
Yeah, I mean, offense and defensively, she has been just an absolute monster. She scores in a lot of different ways. I mean, I feel like it's very. No, I wouldn't compare her to. I almost said Jokic, but less on the passing and more on the defense. But
is she the same size comparison? I just don't even know.
No, that was probably terrible.
Where does she play? She plays the 2.
4.
Plays 4. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's not that terrible then.
But she's not the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year, and that blows my mind that Asia Wilson still is. Because I mean, I don't know, maybe they think voters are just considering blocks and steals, but with the Aces defensive ranks, it's crazy to me that Asia would be the favorite. I think Fee is plus 500 at DraftKings right now. And Asia's like plus 250.
So I was looking at those award markets, and it kind of looks like they don't want to give overlap, like, because I think she's going to win MVP. And they want to give someone else defensive.
It's been done before, though. Asia's done it 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would be. I mean, granted, the fact that Caitlin wasn't unanimous Rookie of the Year last year, like
there's some
media is ridiculous.
contrarians. There's some contrarians out there in the voting population in the WNBA. It's okay.
Yeah,
and I mean, you got to know the market. That's the same thing, you know.
I talk to a lot of voters. I talk to as many people as I can.
You're a ground and pound type of guy. You run a full campaign, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I was texting you last year for some like good stats on I think it was Febitch for 6th Player of the Year to start posting, which shot quality should like be considered like in the future for WNBA awards. I just don't think the media are paying enough attention to that right now.
It's a battle. Trust me, it's a battle. And I think the first thing that has to come with a fledgling league is really just the entertainment value. And then from there, I think people start to get so interested. They want to uncover the smallest speck of sand that they can to understand which way the waves might break. Right. And that's kind of what we all do around here. And I think the WNBA is well on its way. The star power is there. The fact is that they need these expansion teams, and we can talk about that, and we can talk about awards here on HoopsChat as we finish up strong. We'll go right into the top of the hour here every week, Tuesday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, weekly. No changes, no difference. New guest every week. Hopefully Dano comes back before the end of the season. We'll definitely have a few familiar repeat faces. I think you're probably getting them early here in Winnick and Dano, but that's a reason. But no, it's an interesting thing to watch occur, right? Because you don't necessarily see this dependence on advanced stats, and that does let someone like me waltz in and I'm going to be 15-8 on props this season. I'm no expert. Come on, man. I mean, it could obviously go badly at any point, and I'm not very far ahead. But at 1 to 2 picks a day, there's plenty of reason to think that this data is very untouched in this league. And that means there's so much room to grow. There's so much room for analysis. There's so much room for excitement. And as we watch, literally, is this game at like a commercial break with a tie score at 5 minutes? Is that what we're seeing?
There's a review, terrible technical foul called on Sabrina for like after she got fouled, like, flailing of the hands that barely touched Chelsea Gray. The officiating is so bad in this league. I went up to.
But where is the officiating good?
Dude, great question. But I mean, here it's bad, especially when you have them being quoted saying, if we got paid better, we would do a better job. So is a literal quote. I went up to one that I respect. I won't say his name. After a Liberty playoff game, and I said, "Hey, I want to let you know you're one of the good ones." And I rattled off some names of some people I didn't respect. I have my toxic trait is looking up refs like LinkedIn profiles after they screw me.
Stop.
I know it's we're not perfect, but. Oh my God!
I'm glad we waited to the last 10 minutes for this story.
But he was like, "Yeah, I know, and I appreciate what you said. Let me buy you a drink." And I said, "Absolutely not. Let me buy you one." He goes, "Absolutely not." But we went our separate ways. And I'll tell anyone who asks me about that in person. But also we get I have the game on the background. Like the amount of celebrities coming to games now. I mean, it's like NBA.
Well, New York, yeah, we're getting there. I mean, that's. Look, my brand. I just New York basketball. That's all it really is for me. I know people are like, and Brooklyn, I will admit, does sort of cross a big watery line sometimes, and it's hard. I don't get out there enough. I try to make it to LIU to support the Sharks. I have a little bit of a natural. Look, they got Rod Strickland. New York basketball. I mean, you want to just talk about what it can do. This is a basketball town. That's a great thing.
And your Twitter online persona has made me just mediumly obsessed with Rick Pitino. Like,
there you go. If I can influence one person, no, that's not really my goal, but It's exciting because I think when big markets compete, regardless of your opinion of it, having the opinion at all is good for the sport, right? So when you're mad about the New York Knicks and you think Jalen Brunson is overrated, guess what? New York hasn't been on the map since I was 5 years old. No one was calling anyone overrated. People were just saying Carmelo Anthony wasted his whole career. Like, that's all I heard. So, like, I think it's just good. I think when big markets grow and sports grow, I mean, you're never going to hear anyone listening to the show, listening to our stuff, say sports are bad, but they are so magical. They do bring people together. They do create so much. I mean, everything I have in my life the last few years are so just because of sports. So I have a very like personal and intrinsic connection to it, but I love it. I love it so much. So I love seeing the Liberty grow. I think it is maybe, besides Caitlin Clark, one of the most exciting women's basketball atmospheres right now. I mean, every game, I have friends who I went to college with posting videos of Ellie dancing, and I'm like, This is crazy. This would not have happened 3 years ago.
Yep, 100%. Couldn't have
I
said
don't know,
it
Max.
better
You're near the Caitlin Clark craze. You consider yourself Midwestern, I'm assuming. So, what's it like being in the other environment where women's basketball is absolutely popping off?
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely the one that got me into it. I got to get out to Indy and watch her one of these times. But then what kept me like going and watching, I was like, oh, this is kind of like it reminds me more. So I don't like the NBA at all because I just think they're too good and it's boring. But I'm like, oh, this is kind of like
that's the most fair critique I've ever heard. That is the most fair critique of the NBA I think you can ever give. So congratulations.
I'm like, oh, this is just like college basketball. They miss layups sometimes. They got to generate good shots. Like the quality of shots matter. They don't just throw up those stupid Jokic shots that go in. Like there's like two players that can take those impossible shots, But yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome for me. But Daniel, I have to ask you, what did you do with this Valkyries team before the season? Did you do anything? Because obviously no one saw this coming. Yeah. I took over 8.5 wins because I'm like, they could stink and win 9 games.
Hell yeah, Max. No, I'm famously quoted on a podcast preview where I was like, what is their win total going to be? Single digits? I heard it was 15.5 at
still basketball,
and it is. But you talk about basketball environments. They're selling out every game. They got that lame dude Pods from the Warriors that goes nuts. I'm a huge hater of him because the Rockets played them in the playoffs.
Santa Clara, right?
He fouls more than anyone I've ever seen and then complains. But beside the point, they run good shit. I respect teams that just play the right way. The ball gets spread around.
You think there's a real polarization? I mean, again, this is coming from someone we're talking about this. I'm the least educated WNBA viewer on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Is that a polarization? Is there really a difference between teams that are running shit and just hooping?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what I would call the aces. Like a lot of times just going out without a game plan.
Hooping. Get Asia the ball.
Yeah. And couldn't even do that today. No, before she got hurt, but even when I think Caitlin is a player that makes everybody around them better. But this team, the fact that they have an all-star in Kayla Thornton, Liberty champion, we respect, we love, but so many players that I just was like, I don't see how any of this works. Everyone being super critical of the moves they were making in the offseason. It's just been I'm happy to be proven wrong. So Max, I was an idiot. I did not take I hope, people probably took the under based on what I said, which I'm not proud of. But I wish I was on the over. All they do is cover spreads, by the way. I think there's one game they haven't covered the spread at home, and that was when they were an 8-point favorite.
Wow.
I guess besides the first game of the season, I want to say they're 8-2 against the spread at home. Team is unreal.
Yep, for sure at home. I mean, I know yesterday they kind of slipped that one away against the Dream, but yeah, I had the Dream as well, so love to see that. But yeah,
oh my God, that was nuts. That was nuts. Oh my God, I took the Dream live in the fourth quarter because I had plus 7.5. Like I was like, I wanted a little bit of action for myself, and I could not believe the way that game ended. Also, they play a little too hard. It's very like college, like fouling down 7 with.
That is the one thing I notice immediately is that the WNBA is closer to college than NBA by far.
But not all teams, like some teams will just give up down 7. The Valkyries will not. And I learned my lesson early in the year when they played the Mercury and they were like leading by 3 or whatever and pissed away.
So they kept fouling and they lost by like 9.
I was on the Mercury on that side. I got so lucky.
Okay. So
I mean, two teams I love. I was meant to be on the West Coast, I guess. I did live in New York for 5 years, so I guess I've met Justin in person.
Very few people have, by the way. So you're in rare air.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
funny. I mean, I go to the same court in Central Park every morning. No one's ever came to say what's up. I got 18,000 followers. They feel fake. So.
Yeah. I've been at or recognized in public twice.
Once for me. Someone yelled at me at a college basketball game.
Only at the women's Final Four, which is so on brand for me.
Yeah, exactly. Mine was at Baha Mar. Someone chirped me for not being in the floor seats on the second day.
Oh well.
Hey Perri, where are the floor seats? It's like
I was in Cleveland and I had a lot of money on South Carolina futures 2 years ago, and I was wearing a Cox sweatshirt. So just a horrible. I mean, I was having a lot of beers. So when I go to that, it's for like the culmination to see if like I am going to
beers, a lot of beers. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a beers positive show.
Yeah, Phoenix, come on down to the Final Four. We're gonna have a good crew there. It's gonna be so fun. I mean, like I said,
we might. It might be a good year. I mean, we got our cohort Musa down there in Arizona. So yeah, you got to throw up the antlers for Moose. So we'll have somewhere to crash at his place.
Tell him I have an extra seat to in a suite for the Fever game in August, courtesy of my friend. I haven't met him yet, but if you're cool with him, family's family, whatever. My friend who there's another thing, the rise of popularity. My friend pulled the Caitlin Clark 101, sold for $275,000.
Wow.
And
hobby.
Yeah, and so she's
crazy.
Got suites and then luckily she's one of my betting buddies, and she's got me sitting courtside, but got a suite for everybody else. So tell Musa to come on down.
Musa can, for sure. Musa's gonna love this. He doesn't come on the show, and he's getting booked tickets to Caitlin Clark games. He's gonna have a great reaction to that. We're gonna get out of here though, Dano. I would love to keep you for more time, but I honestly thought this game was going to be finished. I'd like everyone to go watch. It is finished, actually. It looks like the Liberty are soundly winning this. So
hey, don't jinx it.
All right. Before we get out of here, who's cutting down the nets, Dano?
I mean, I would have said Liberty up until a week and a half ago, and now I'm diehard Mercury. I'm going to name my first kid Sammy.
Wow.
After Sammy Wickham, for sure. It's a Mercury kind of year.
Wow. All right. You are definitely going to get along with Moose. Max, you agree?
I think I'm going to take the Lynx here.
Okay.
I just think until I see Jonquil Jones might not be the best player on that team, but she is the most important. I could change my answer depending when she comes back, if they start looking like they did the first 10 games of the year. But right now, the Minnesota Lynx are the best team. But I will be rooting for – I hope you're right on the Mercury because that's who I want to win. But I think the Lynx are the pick.
There you go. All right, two really just sharp minds in the WNBA. Dano, specifically a legend here. Definitely check out her hoop stats, the work that he's put in over there to be one of the foremost minds in WNBA. You won't miss out. Honestly, Dano, I'm a little mad, and we'll leave it at one thing. I forgot the question that I said was going to surprise you. I was going to ask about the rankings. I was going to ask about how they started. I wanted a story. I wanted to hear about them. Like every single time you post, a 250,000 people see these rankings that you make.
Yeah.
And so give us just a quick closing word on the rankings. Tell us what we need to know.
Yeah. The tears came because everyone posts power rankings, and with 12, 13 teams. They're all the fucking same. Excuse me. They're all the same. They're so stupid. I like Sabrina Merchant from The Athletic. You actually learn something when you read her. But I was like, I want to be funny with it. I'm very satirical all the time. So let me start doing tiers and then incorporate current events that have been happening. And I got a new boss at work, and my hours have been nuts. But things are starting to slow down. They're gonna come back. And unfortunately, my wife has me, watching Love Island. No, watching Love Island, and I may or may not incorporate that into the next one. But yeah, we will see. But yeah, thank you for the acknowledgement on those. It is
some of your finest work.
I can't wait to see where Sammy ends up in the rankings on the next one.
MVP.
I can't imagine that this is anything other than something that keeps you up at night. Or is it just super fluid? You're just like, nope, it's no thought. It's natural. This comes natural.
No, the worst part is finding like current events to make fun of. Like I got to make fun of Holly Rowe for like asking why her algorithm was showing her, pornographic material. It's like joke's on you, buddy.
All right, it's time to go. It's time to go. No, Dano, obviously, thank you so much. I can't tell you how many times I've sent a message to our content team like, who's going to be the Dano of college hoops? Who's making these tiers? Max, Musa, go. And of course, it's nearly impossible because it's about the fact that you love it, that it comes to you so naturally. Everything you do in the W honestly makes me want to take it and turn it into something I can do for college and my stuff. So if watching this conversation hasn't proven to you enough, take my word for it. This guy's one of the best out there, will help you become a better analyst, especially in women's hoops. Couldn't recommend him more. We'll see you on the show again soon. Thank you, everyone at home, for watching. Max, thanks for co-hosting today. We'll be back with another episode next week at the same time, Tuesday, 9:15, a different guest, maybe a different co-host, but always the same high-level hoops chat every week, presented by Shot Quality. I'm Justin Perri. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.